Hello, guys. So I want to make this right quick before I get on my day. But I was just thinking about something and what's happening to a lot of black girls and how there's just a lack of concern, specifically from black women. I just won't even say black people no more because I've known. I mean, maybe a lot of people haven't known, but I've known for a long time that the males aren't going to do anything. But we're just seeing too much molestation, rape, and just abuse happening. And obviously, it's being exposed now, even though some of us have known it. I started my I started my channel calling out black women, but I was more on those pro black women. But I started off my channel like that. Most of my videos, I'll say about 98% of my videos is going in on a lot of black women and few about black men, but I didn't make too many videos about them because I mean, I wasn't going to say anything too much different than any of the other women who were speaking out against the black women bashing. I wasn't going to say too much anything different than they were saying. And so I felt at that point it should be known who they are. It was no need for me to continue to make video after video about black men. If people haven't woken up to who they are by now, they're just not going to. But I did start my channel making a lot of videos about these women who go along, who are complicit in what a lot of these guys do, because I just didn't hear too many women talking about it at the time, and I was getting pushback as well. I was looked at as being a basher and bashing black women and talking about how their self-esteem don't come in a vacuum and such and such and such. My self-esteem did not come in. I'm gonna get to the point in a second. My self-esteem did not come in no vacuum either, and until this day, I'm still working. One of these days, I'm gonna tell my story because my story has a lot to do with a Masonic ritual. Okay, so my self-esteem, first of all, it didn't come in no vacuum, and then second of all, I had a lot taken away from me as a doggone toddler that I'm still working on to this day, and I'm talking about consciousness. That was tampered with during rituals. So I can't deal with excuses. I can't, because I haven't really told my story, but my story is it's some stuff. And I don't want to get on if I can do it, you can do it. I don't know people's path. I don't when it's going to be your time to wake up. Okay, because everybody have a certain time to wake up if they are going to wake up. Okay, that we don't know. But I want to get to these alliances. So, I was just talking about how so much happened to black girls, black women. Even though, I sometimes I hesitate at the saying of protecting black women and girls at this point, okay? And I know it's going to sound wrong that I say I hesitate. Now, I don't hesitate with the saying protection of black girls, but I hesitate with the saying to protect black women, okay? Because I don't see where a lot of black women want to be protected. I see where every time, most of the time when somebody do try to come forward and fight for black women fight them. Okay, they fight them, and then run to their abusers. And we can say the programming, of course, is Stockholm Syndrome, all of those reasons, fine. But at the same time, it's just problematic. So I don't have time to go into all these excuses why they do what they do. Nobody has time for that right now. It's getting to a point where it's just beyond out of control. Okay. And I have a hard time saying black women and girls at this point. I used to say black women and girls lives matter, and I think lives matter, but if they don't know their lives matter, you can't convince them that their lives matter, because people who have come forth to try to speak out and speak up for black women and go against the abuse, especially from black men and the bashing. You had so many black women come forth and accuse those few black women who tried to speak up. You had so many other black women come forth and say, oh, you hate black men. Well, all black men ain't the same because my brother ain't like that. You don't know what your brother's like because he ain't telling you everything. You don't know nothing. But see, this is what I'm saying. So at this point, I just can't say black women to girls. I can't. I just have to say black girls. But let me get on the alliances part, okay? So I say for forming other alliances because now it's just that it's hard for black women to come together to try to take a stand of what's going on there. It's just really out of control. And another thing, the reason why it's hard for black women, because the black women don't have the free time that a lot of other non-black women have because of a lack of support. They don't have the free time. Number one, they don't have support of each other. That's number one. That's the biggest thing. Because look at Dolores C. Tucker and how these black rappers disrespected her because she was waging war against disrespectful lyrics and gangster music. And here you go, these black guys disrespecting her and their songs, and the community ain't come out against that. So, okay, there's just no support anyway. But then another situation is that even if black women want to support, they're too busy because they don't have help. A lot of them are just single mothers. They got to raise their kids and they got to work their jobs, and they don't have, and they live in check to check. And I'm not going to judge that. I'm not judging. I'm just saying what it is. They live in check to check. Okay. And they don't have time to really participate in more like non-black women do, because non-black women have a little bit more support. They have more of a stable family unit. Okay, some of them might have support from their husbands, maybe other males in the community. And, they have time. A lot of them don't have to work as much, so they have the time. And so here's where I get into alliances. And so I'm going to do something later on, but I'm not going to say anything that I'm going to do until it's completed. But if you decide that you are tired, and this is just a little suggestion, if you decide that you are tired of seeing what's going on with a lot of these little girls, and maybe black women too, but black women, when you try to defend them, they fight you on it. You can't, it's something going on with defending a lot of black women. Now, don't get me wrong, it's few black women who are very decent people, but I do mean few. Okay, so at this point, I'm looking at the girls. Okay, if you are tired of seeing what's going on, and it's something that you want to do, I do suggest probably looking into alliances with non-black people, men or women, because see, non-black men will support you too, because a lot of them, although, men are just misogynistic sexist anyway, you'll find a lot more non-black men, and you'll find some non-black women who will support you, and they're confident in who they are, so they don't have to be accusing you of being no feminist because you're tired of seeing little black girls get raped and beaten and molested, and they gonna accuse you of a feminist because you tired of black girls getting. See, that's that guilt trip they want to put on you, because they want to keep committing their crimes. And I'm talking about black men right now. They want to keep committing their crimes. And so when you speak out against rape or abuse, you're called a feminist, as if you're supposed to continue to stay there and get your butt beat. Okay, and I have a problem with being criticizing a feminist on a feminist planet. Okay, don't get me wrong, some feminists are extreme, but I'm talking about just women who are healthy and they don't like the toxicity that goes against the type of toxicity that is dangerous to women and children. Okay, that type of toxicity. Okay, they're not in line with the planet. The planet is a feminine planet. And so these men who want to fuss about some feminism because you want to speak out on abuse and rape, they're out of line and they don't belong on this planet. They need to take their butt to Mars. And I'm not joking when I say that. That's not a joke. Mars is masculine. Mars is the planet of war. They need to go there. Get off of Earth. They don't belong here. And I'm saying that for real because, that's I'm into things like that as well. Okay. But it might be best to form alliances with non-black people, men or women, and it's not all about this trusting. As long as your goals are achieved, with these non-black people. It's not always about, oh, I don't trust them. Well, you can't hardly trust black women either. Okay, but all this, I don't trust them. As long as my goal is achieved, I can't get into all this trust. I just want to make sure they're going to do what they say they're going to do. I want to make sure they're going to keep their end of the deal. That's what I want to make sure of. All this trying to see if they're going to be my best friend. I don't got time for that. I'm not looking for no friends. I'm not looking for you to be my best friend. I want to look for somebody who's going to get the job done. That's all. I ain't looking for no best friend. Okay, some people get so emotional they're looking for a friend, and these people don't. Who cares if they're gonna be your friend as long as they get the freaking job done? And it's getting to a point where black women are not enough. Even those black women who are divesting and have good sense, they're not enough for each other because it's too few. And then those black women, a lot of them are just extremely busy because black women just don't have, all around, don't have the support that non-black women have. And so they're just too busy to put the time that's needed into really getting things moving along when it comes to putting a stop to what's happening to these black girls. Okay? So with that being said, I'm tired of seeing it too. And one thing about me is I get tired of being sick and tired. So definitely I'm going to have some things emotional. I'm definitely going to be trying to, I wouldn't mind working with black women either. You know, I don't count them out. It might be one or two if you can get them. If they're not too busy, or if they're not afraid to speak out. But for the most part, it could be easier to find non-black people who have more free time and more willing than a black woman, because black women tend to say things. They participate. You know, when it comes to commentary, they'll participate. But when it comes to really getting involved in movement, some of them are just busy, and some of them just don't want to have anything to do with it. They don't want their name and face out there like that. Okay, they don't want to put the time and energy into it. You know, it's, like I said, the main thing with a lot of black women is that they are too busy. They work a lot. They don't have the luxury of being a housewife, sitting at home, putting their feet up. You know, so that's why I say it's just not going to work. And we're going to keep witnessing things happening to these little girls until some type of action is made. Okay. And so you guys just let me know what you think. Yeah, but I just think it's at this point, if you're really sick and tired, I'm talking about for those who really want to move along. You know, because even black women with certain resources, you can't really get them to care about what's happening to black women, to black girls. Because I've heard of some black women who go to these other black women that got resources, that are professionals and high paying jobs, and they know people, and you can't hardly get these black women to move in politics. And you've had other black women that go to these ladies talking about this kind of stuff, and you can't hardly get those kind of black women to move because they still focused on appeasing black men, even if they're in these powerful positions. And so that's what I'm saying. At this point, it's just not enough. Okay, it's not enough support to really put a stop to what's happening to little black girls, and it's probably best to just seek out alliances with non-black people who are going to get the job done. They don't have to be your best friend. And with that being said, I'll